they've done the best work with it.
Yeah.
I think they should give the multiplayer to Treyarch, build the structure, have the engine for the game to run, allow people to download the multiplayer online, and then pay for each new iteration, like $25 or $30 to
Yeah.
get whatever new zone or whatever new thing they're going to add to it. I think that would be neater.
Yeah.
But
I'm all right with that. All right, so not to cut you off, but we need to keep going. We got
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
stuff
no.
going
Yeah, I
on.
was going to say we got
So
to
you
go.
said, Robbie, you're telling me before the show that there's some Hitman news on the new Hitman game. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so apparently a lot of people had pre-ordered it through PlayStation Network, and then they received news from Square Enix and from Sony PlayStation that they were pulling all the pre-orders. They were going to refund everybody their money. Well, apparently it's turning out that Hitman is going to be an episodic release, and that's the reason behind it. They're going to launch an intro pack, and it's not going to have a physical copy until later on in the year.
Right.
It's going to release around March 11th, and it's going to have an intro pack. That's the first portion, which will be a prologue mission and a Paris location.
Right.
And then they will follow that up each month with different locations: Italy in April, Morocco in May. Then they'll receive regular monthly content updates going all across the globe. They're going to have live events. They're going to have additional planned content. And basically, you'll be able to pay for each section as you want to go. I actually think this is a brilliant price scheduling scheme, or price scheduling, or price structuring, simply because the intro pack is going to start off at $15. So if you pay the $15 and you don't like the game, you don't have to pay any more.
Right.
You paid $15 for one part of the game, and you didn't like it, you don't have to pay any more. But if you do like it, it's going to cost you a little bit more for each individual section. It looks like they're going to be around $10 a section. Or you can get the quote-unquote full experience. You can pay $60 up front, and it's like a season pass. You just automatically get that new content download when it comes out.
Right.
So I think that's actually a really, really good way to start to scheduling for a lot of these games. It keeps the game relevant. It stretches the game out. You don't burn through the game in the first week that you play it. So it adds a little longevity.
Well, when you talk about episodes, the only one that I can say that I've done recently like that, well, there's probably two. If you consider the new StarCraft 2 as episodes, which they're huge, the games are. I mean, you do the humans, then you do the Zerg,
you do the Zerg, and then you do
Protoss.
the Protoss.
I mean, that I didn't get blown out by that. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't overwhelmed by three of them. I wasn't mad about three of them. I was actually looking forward to the next chapter. And I'm not a multiplayer StarCraft guy, but I do like the storyline. I think the story itself is a good story. So that was pretty successful. And the other game I've played is on the Xbox. I don't know if you remember, we talked about, I used to play like old Sierra-based point-and-click games. Well,
with the King's Quest re-release.
They re-released King's Quest on the Xbox, and it is a really good story. So I'm on episode 2 now, which is basically how this one is set up. Is it starts off as how Graham became a king, and it's taking you to different points of his life. So every episode is a different time. One, he's really young. One, he's a young adult. I'm assuming he's going to be old towards the end. But I'm loving that, and it's not expensive. It's cheap. I went ahead and bought the pack, for a couple bucks cheaper.
Yeah.
So I just downloaded it. But I'm okay with that. But
yeah.
What I'm not okay with is just don't charge me $60 and then try and charge me $25-$30 when the next one comes out, and give me crap.
Exactly. Well, and a studio that has had immense success with the episodic release is Telltale Games.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, they did the Walking Dead Season 1, they did Walking Dead Season 2, Wolf Among Us, they did, good God, they're doing the Game of Thrones, they're going to do Batman.
Do you think we've seen maybe too much of them? Have they over flooded the market yet?
I don't really think so. I think they're spreading themselves out. They're working with a lot of already established IPs. I mean, you're looking at them right now. You've got Games of Thrones. You've got Walking Dead Seasons 1 and 2.
Right.
You've got The Wolf Among Us.
I think Minecraft was the first one that I really didn't even think about wanting to get.
Yeah, the Minecraft story mode.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. But they're doing a standalone for Michonne.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Michonne.
Michonne
Yeah, Michonne's
for
right.
Walking Dead. You've got the Batman episodic they're going to release, and it looks here that they've got a Jurassic Park and a Back to the Future episodic game on the line. So
Now, what
they're
about
kind of spreading themselves out. I
what
think
about
that's
a
a
Star
really good
Wars one? You think we'll see a Star Wars one?
I don't know if we'll see a Star Wars one.
I don't know. I would play a Star Wars one.
I would definitely play a Star Wars one, but I mean, I don't know if that's anything we're going to see relatively soon.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's going to be a little whiles down the road. Maybe we'll actually get that completed 1313 Disney 13. Let's get it together.
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
But yeah.
All
so
right.
yeah, definitely. No, they've done really well with that kind of that episodic structure. I think that's worked well for them. So I think it'll be interesting to see how it works for Square Enix and Hitman. As we all know, they're doing it with Final Fantasy VII. Fantasy VII, the re-release is going to be an episodic re-release. And I think that's really, really a great structure for them. So
yeah, I agree.
Definitely excited about that.
And then the last thing we have really to, as far as this is sort of news, sort of not, but we mentioned at the last on the last podcast is that we got our first product review in, or at least our first like free little thing to check out. So first off, a big shout out to Vinyl Graph. They sent us some really quality like device stickers, is what I call them. Basically, they sent, and I put pictures of them on the Instagram. These are durable, just custom stickers to put on your different products to spice up your 3DS or your MacBook or your laptop or whatever. Their website is vinylgraph.com, and we are not sponsored by Vinyl Graph, so I just want to make sure they know that. We ain't getting no money from Vinyl Graph, so this is not yet. But if you want to send us a check, Vinyl Graph, we're not going to turn it down, but right now we're not being paid by Vinyl Graph. But basically, he reached out to us on Instagram, and me and him talked for a little bit, and he was nice enough to send me some stickers to check out. And what I like about them, so basically these are the ones I got. I got an R2-D2 to go on my MacBook. I have a C3PO, which I haven't placed on anything yet. I'll probably send that to you or Brian. And then I have like a little, like, I don't know, I think it's Star Fox. I'm not really sure exactly who he is, but it's a little like Japanese art kind of thing with a fox on it. I know it's from a game, but I just don't know which one it is off the top of my head. Cool thing about it is they have you put the sticker on and then you take this protective coating off of it, and it's like a durable sticker. It is really nice. When you look up vinylgraph.com, it talks about basically they just got together and wanted to make custom stickers for themselves, and then it just spinned off to something bigger. They had quick customer feedback when they talked to me. Like if I had any issues, they talked right back to me. So no problems with that. There's definitely the sticker at least has not nicked or anything on my MacBook. Now I use my MacBook lightly, so it's not really hurting it. But it's no problems with that so far. So check them out. They've got a lot of cool like Star Wars emblems. They have different ones for game consoles. And if you don't like anything that's on there, you can actually make your own logo, and they will make you sticker, so you can put it on your own devices. So, I don't know, maybe we were to get a Geeked Out podcast sticker, we'd be able to stick it on all the devices.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's the thing that I thought was really interesting about them was not so much just the fact that they had the Star Wars product. It was that it was the customization ability.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're good price though too. We're looking at less than $8 for stickers. It seems like most of them.
Yeah, you're looking. I think I think it was most of them seem to be around $8, depending on what device. And I mean, they cover everything. They do your phones from the iPhone 4 all the way up to the iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah.
The S Plus. They do laptops, tablets. They do consoles. You can develop them for your PS4, your PS3, your Xbox 360, your Xbone. It's literally just about anything you want to use. So,
yeah, I think it's a good thing. So big thanks to Vinyl Graph for sending it to us. And if anyone on the on the podcast goes and checks them out, just send us a message and tell us what you think about them. They are not in the United States; they're overseas. So shipping for me took about 7 to 10 days, normal shipping, but no problems with anything. It all came out good. So big thanks to Vinyl Graph for letting us check out those, and hopefully get some traffic that way. So into the main topic. So the main topic of this the show today is going to be basically 2016 and a preview. What are we looking forward to? What's coming out? We are not really going to go big in depth, at least try not to, on any of the topics because there's so much to talk about. And a lot of these topics we're going to hit as a full show later on throughout the year when it gets closer to the release or whatever. But normally, best way to look at what's coming out in 2016 is to look at CES. And CES definitely has. Is it still going on now, or is it done?
I believe it's done. I believe CES is done. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was at the beginning of January or maybe the end of December. I'm not a big, you know me, I'm not a big tech head. I do like to check in and see what's new, but
sure.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's done, but a lot of big news coming out of CES.
Yeah, and if you don't know what CES is the Consumer Electronics Show. It's down in Las Vegas, Nevada, and basically it's the time for everything new in technology to be released. And sometimes it's not the things that are coming out in 2016 or this current year. Sometimes it's things that are coming out 3-4 years down the line.
Yeah.
I remember when they put out HD TVs, I remember looking at them like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to afford a high-def TV. And now I can't think of a TV in the house that's not high-def. And I have one ultra-high-def, a 4K TV. So, Rob, before we jump in my list here, anything big out of CES that you saw that we should talk about?
Well, I think there were a lot of things that I saw, and I think we'll probably overlap a little bit on what we saw. And I'll just go through mine real quick, and we can talk about them at depth.
Sure.
But I think one of the biggest things that I saw was the new Faraday electronic car, the quote unquote electronic Batmobile. That seemed to raise a lot of eyebrows.
Now, what's up with that car? Why is that such a big deal?
Well, it looks like a Batmobile. It's 100% electric. It is in terms of performance, it is somewhere close to excuse me, sorry, I got a little something in my throat. It's somewhere close to the Tesla Roadster, and they're saying that it could be. It could put a lot of. It could be the main competitor,
right?
But it's definitely obviously it's a concept car,
right?
But if you go to their site, it's a very nice looking car. It's got that kind of McLaren. It's their concept car, but it's got that McLaren. It's got a very very sleek design. It's got I think it's the single seat in the very front, or the single seat in the middle, kind of deal.
Oh, like a NASCAR thing now.
Yeah, it's it's got what they call a zero gravity driving station. It's a very sleek looking car. Carbon fiber, full glass bubble. There's no roof panels. It's just a glass dome that covers it. It's just an extremely cool looking car.
Gotcha.
And I would, without a doubt, if I could afford it, would definitely buy one.
Did they put a price tag on it yet?
No, it's just a concept.
Okay, cool.
So it's nothing solid yet. You know how concepts are. They may be a little bit closer to it, but once I think you get into mass production, I think they start realizing there's certain things that they can't do. I mean, but we're looking there. It's a 4 quad core motor with 1,000 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, top speed at 200 miles an hour.
Oh wow!
But it's a single seat car. It's got an intuitive UI. You can use virtual and heads up displays, smartphone connected remote vehicle setups. It's like the car of the future. It's the car that we should have had about 20 years ago.
Right.
But